Hi everybody, it's Matt here, local friendly neighbourhood vestibular migraine sufferer. I hope you're all as well as can be expected if you're suffering from vestibular symptoms, and I hope wherever you are, lockdown measures are starting to ease so we can have some semblance of a normal life back. So I thought I'd just cover a topic that I've not covered before, but it's something I've been thinking about on and off for probably about a year, and it's to do with the neck and vestibular migraine. So see what you think. I'm not saying this is a solution or this is, the nirvana moment or an epiphany that we finally figured out what's going on, but I do think it's worth consideration and worth having a think about and having a discussion about. So I guess this video is going to be a pain in the neck, probably for some of you or for me or for anyone. So anyway, those of you who've seen some of my other videos, I think I have mentioned before that I have struggled with my neck. And so because I'm a desk worker and I'm not exactly a spring chicken anymore, I tend to get problems with my, I think you call them trap muscles. I think, is it trapezius muscles? Then they basically run up your back past like your shoulder blades up into your neck area, and they tend to get kind of thrown out from posture. So when you're desk working, it's your body kind of comes forward like that, and your shoulders come forward. You get round as shoulders. So what tends to happen is the traps muscles weaken, and then you start feeling pain and that kind of thing. So I've had that for a while, and then I've also noticed that for years now that I do struggle a bit when it comes to my neck. So my neck can sometimes get quite stiff. So if I was to move my neck that way, that's about as far as I can go. I'm feeling pain here, and it's feeling a bit funny here. I've got slightly more movement when I go that way, the whole Exorcist movement. But it's still not great, still stiff when I'm coming into this angle here. So, what's the point in this one? The point is that I do suffer with neck problems. So how does this link to vestibular migraine? So I'm not saying that this is sudden, as I said at the start, I'm not saying that I suddenly believe that the cause of all our problems is coming from the neck. But what I am saying is I think it's worth, if you're struggling with what seem to be vestibular migraine symptoms, but you also have a dodgy neck, I think it's worth investigating what's going on with your neck, just in case that is causing the vestibular symptoms and not the vestibular system or disorder to the vestibular system. So the condition that I've been researching, and the condition that's that's kind of jumped out at me is, and I'm gonna have to read this because it's like, it's proper medical talk, but it's called the Splenius capitus muscle syndrome. So the Splenius capitus is as far as I'm aware, is a muscle that sits kind of next to the traps. So the traps come up past the shoulder blades into your neck. In your neck area, you move slightly along, and there's two kind of muscles, both sides, that are Splenius capitis muscles, and they again help with the motion of the head. And I'm no expert, but I definitely get pain in that kind of area where the Splenius capitis muscle is. So what I thought was interesting was, well, what's that got to do with vestibular migraine? But if you read a bit around the Splenius capitis muscle syndrome, that has some interesting symptoms. So I'm just going to scroll down at this article I'm looking at here, and I'll post a link below so you can read about it. So Splenius capitis syndrome can cause a number of symptoms. So we've got obviously temple headache, we've got head pressure, bing, light up, mark that one up. We've got aching pain above the eye. We've got aching pain at the cheekbone under the eye. And this is another one, I think, where we'll click the kind of bingo sound. Eye hurts and is sensitive to bright light. So we've already seen from there's two symptoms that are in common with vestibular migraine, and they are the head pressure and the photophobia. So they were two symptoms I had a lot of when I was in my chronic phase of vestibular migraine. But it's really interesting actually that then, actually these symptoms also apply to this neck condition here. And finally, we've got pain radiated in the neck, obviously. And another one we've got is nausea and vomiting when the pain is intense. So again, I know some vestibular migraine sufferers do feel nauseous and can feel like they're going to vomit. And so that, again, is a possible symptom in common. So, and from the reading I've done of this splenius muscle, it is known to be a bit of a kind of instigator of common migraine. So it can produce common migraine symptoms. So logically, to me, it seems reading that list of symptoms that are in common with vestibular migraine, and given what we know, what this is saying about regular migraine, it makes sense to me that maybe an upset to the Splenius capitis could cause symptoms that are similar to vestibular migraine, or bring on vestibular migraine just like it does regular migraine. So it's possible, I guess, everything's possible. It's possible that there's people out there who've been diagnosed with vestibular migraine, but in fact may have Splenius capitis muscle syndrome. So I'm not saying all of us, and I'm not saying like it's suddenly going to be a solution for all of us. It likely won't be, but maybe some people out there, if you are struggling with your neck, get that checked out, and because it might be, it unlocks the kind of what's going on with you, and it might be getting that treated is the way to get back onto the straight and narrow and feel a lot better. So what can we do about it? Well, I've said there, I think the first thing, if you have vestibular migraine symptoms, or you've been diagnosed with vestibular migraine, but you have a neck issue, is to get that neck looked at. So go to your physio. A friend of mine I was talking to earlier in the week, she actually has her vestibular physio is also a regular physio as well. So she's got a really winning combo there. So if you can find someone who is a vestibular and a regular physio, that would be the ideal, because they'll be able to look at it and maybe draw some hypotheses about whether the neck issue is causing your vestibular symptoms. I think a few other things you can do is, and I'm no doctor, I can't endorse these videos on YouTube that show you how to do stretches and things. I don't know whether they work or don't, but there are some. So I'll put some links below so you can check them out for yourselves. But I will always advise that, anything you're looking at on YouTube is just there for, to advise, go to your doctors or physio before you start any, these stretches or any of those kind of things, but they're worth checking out. So that's what I would do. So I have had my neck looked at before, and some of you have seen my regular videos. I used to have chiro, and I do have a sports massage every couple of months, when the government permits us in terms of lockdown. So that is something I have done. Can I completely say that my Splenius capitis muscle has not caused me issues or caused me issues? No, I don't know for sure. I still think when you do have vestibular migraine, I still think this is coming from a wider issue with the central nervous system. But as I said, I'm open to ideas, and I do think there will be some cases out there where you think you've got vestibular migraine, or you do have vestibular migraine, and that is actually being caused by issue in the neck. And of course, when I talk about issues with the central nervous system causing vestibular migraine, so my kind of theory is it's all based on inflammation. So and actually soreness in the neck, tightness in the neck, inflammation. So it's there again. So it could be that it's inflammation from your neck that's causing inflammation in your body to create vestibular migraine symptoms. You know the drill. So I thought it was worth doing a video on. As I said, quite a few people have reported that symptom to me, and I have had that symptom. So, join the discussion below, put comments on if you've got these symptoms, if you've had neck trouble. Do a bit of research yourself on the Splenius capitis. As I said, get to your GP, your physio, mention it to them. Mention you've got these symptoms, photophobia, see if they can figure it out, see if they can have a feel of that muscle, see whether they can then do, which they will be able to do physio treatment with you to maybe try and sort that out. So it's always worth having a go at these things, because it might just be that's the thing that sorts you out. And as all of us who've had really bad vestibular migraine, had really terrible periods of it, and chronic phases, anything's worth a try if it means that it gets us better, and this could well do for you. So do check it out. So hopefully that was of some use. I'm planning a few more videos. I think my next video is going to come back to the kind of diet topic area, because I touched on that in my previous video about how problems with the bowel might be causing inflammation that causes vestibular migraine. So I want to come back onto that and drill down into some foods that I'm trying to eat more of, and some foods that I'm trying to kind of almost eradicate from my diet, just in case those things are going to cause inflammation in my body or whatever, upset my bowel, that then can trigger down the line vestibular migraine. So I'll aim to do that video probably once I've had my hair cut. As you can see, it's got a bit unkempt, because we're not in the UK. We've not been able to have haircuts since December, early January. So I kind of look probably a little bit like a 70s serial killer. I would if I had the FL41 glasses on. That really does make me look like like Ted Bundy or something like that. So anyway, hope you find that of use. And remember, as you were, you'll be again. So take care and see you all soon.